Hello everyone, this is Serious Trivia, and welcome back to the Subscriber Game Tournament Season 2, as I'm here to introduce you all to the rules and format of Round 3. Now for this round, it is a special time trial round for our 6 contestants who tied in their Siege Battle matchup in Round 2. And their opponent for this round will be me, instead of each other, as the 2 fastest times of victory will end up earning the last 2 slots in the top 8. As for the time trial itself, it's set up as a pursuit battle, taking place on the open field or deserts outside of Shuofang, which you can see have the coordinates shown here, and the map is really just a blank open desert, small hills but no trees to hide from. The only thing that will help me hide is the fog, which is the weather setting for this battle. But even this will not have a huge impact, as without trees, there's really no good ways of hiding your units on an open map like this. As for the army composition, all the contestants will know that I'll be bringing the 3 Sima princes shown here from the 8 Princes DLC, and the only units I'll be using are mounted Lancer militias, which are all ranked up to rank 8, so that we stay on the theme of 8 princes. It takes up the majority of the 15,000 Ultra unit funding, so it's definitely not a weak army, but it's not strong either. Ranking up militia lancers doesn't make them that much stronger, so it's still a relatively weak army and it's easy to defeat me. But the purpose of this army setup that I have chosen here is not to fight my opponents, but rather run away. That's why this is a pursuit battle. Everyone has to come up with an army composition that has the capability of not only winning against me, but also winning fast, as you could bring a whole army of spearmen and slowly encircle me and win every fight, but I can outrun you and waste your time, as my goal is simply to lose as slowly as possible. Now, of course, if I see an opening and I'm absolutely confident I can win an engagement on the map and maybe get away afterwards, I will take it, and if I happen to beat you, tough luck. But most likely, with the quality of units and the quality of general, with 2 of them having only silver weapons, even though they're tier 3, you should probably beat me. And speaking of these generals, let me introduce why these 3 were chosen. Aside from the fact that I want to showcase a bit of the 8 Princes DLC, not because it's a great DLC, but just to prove that any general, even the worst ones, can be used in multiplayer, whereas our matchup so far, there have been some sort of meta developing with different generals being overused. But that's going to change going forward, as round 4, 5, basically semifinals and on, we'll have a pick ban phrase where different generals will get banned, forcing our players to use generals that they are less comfortable with. And that's still okay, because these princes have capability to make for a very interesting fight. For example, Sima here has surprise attack, which will give nearby units stock, allowing me to run away while hiding, giving them 50% extra speed on top of that. Sima Wei here has Nature's Ally, which will give nearby units extra speed. So it's all about how fast I'm running away in this fight. Sima Jiong has a roar ability, a range block ability in case you're trying to shoot my units from afar, and there's other interesting little combinations. If I do get into a fight, maybe Sima Wei will stop and do a Flame of the Phoenix to clear your units, or fight your generals with Binding Fury. He does have a good weapon, and all 3 generals are unbreakable. So there are options with any combination of generals, and it's up to our contestant themselves to find a good combination of 3 generals that can defeat this army in a very fast manner. And that's kind of the test. There's 2 things I'm sort of testing our opponents for this round. One is understanding of all the generals in multiplayer to come up with a composition that will aid them in beating this comp and picking the right units on those generals. For example, Yan Baihu is a great general, not because, he is fast. He's not too fast. We can add a player here just to showcase him. Base speed only 99, but if we look at his abilities, tactical withdrawal can be used in a manner where it boosts nearby units' speed, even though it's usually used for sort of a run away from a fight. Here you're using it to catch up to a fight. And because I have no foresight, Yanbaihu's units will be invisible to me. So if I know you're using Yanbaihu, I would have a hard time scattering my units to hide if I don't know where I might bump into your units. That's one option. Generals that are little used so far, like Zhang He, who has a passive ability called Geographic Mastery, has 10% speed bonus and ignore all ground type penalties, and 100% forest spotting, which in this case, even though there are no forests, he's getting double spotting distance on all units, which will help greatly in this fog. There are many different things you can come up with. Sometimes it's the general ability, sometimes it's just the general themselves. For example, Lü Bu is super fast because he has the red hair. So as one of the fastest generals, he can do chase down rather easily. Same thing applied to Cao Cao with his Shadow Runner, which also is one of the fastest horses in the game. He has a little extra speed because he will also have Nature's Ally as well, boosting nearby units and himself. And we also have Yellow Turban generals, say Zhang Jiao, who is definitely not fast, but very annoying because he can recruit Messengers of Heaven, which is double unit size and has the same default speed of 95 as the Mounted Lancer Militias, which has 119 right now because there is a Vanguard General giving a speed boost to all the units. Zhang Jiao's unit, as you can see, will also be 119 after the bonuses, and that's just really hard to deal with because just bringing 6 units of these will match my 12 units in terms of number of units. So you can feel free to spread them out and not worry about them losing the fight after finding my units. That's definitely a very strong combination, and they're also one of the few cavalry options with very high morale. So I can't just roar on them and hope to run away afterward, because, you know, going with something fast to match my speed often means you have to go with another militia cavalry. So for example, maybe Sun Yuan, because she also have Nature's Ally. But if you want a fast cavalry at 95 speed, your options are the first 3 here. And look at their morale, at most 30. That's not very high. So I could use my morale shot to try to beat them. But with Messenger of Heaven, I can't really do that. But in essence, there are countless combinations of correct answers that you can go for here. Maybe you have Liu Zhang run in with his ceasefire to make sure I can't even scatter my forces in the first place. Or maybe Lü Bu with his gaze, or perhaps Diao Chan for that one-time use. Basically, there's a lot of things you can come up with, and we'll see what our contestants do in terms of stopping this army here. Going with Qiang units might also work, because fatigue kicks in about 5 to 6 minutes into the battle after running non-stop, and the Qiang units will really start showing their speed at that point. And they're also very capable with a mix of range and melee capability, so maybe they don't even need to catch up to do damage to them. So there's just endless possibilities here, and I'm pretty excited to see what our 6 players will throw at me, and that's going to determine the outcome of our final top 8, as the 2 fastest time will join them. And these matches will start tomorrow, following this schedule. So let us know who you support in the comment section below. And until then, bye!